Hello everyone, Mountain here. Don't think you can see him. I'll try for a zoom in, even though we all know how crap that is. No, that's not gonna work. But looks like probably a loon swimming right there. And here's famous Isabella, right on time for her. Oh, you hit record? Let me have a drink from this lake. The day today is Sunday, September 25th. Thought I'd start my video out here on the boat just barely after 7. I think it's like just 10 after 7 right now. Looked at my watch a couple minutes ago. And you can see here the sun's completely set. I know it's cloudy. It's been overcast and rainy all day. So, yeah, that's the loon. You can tell by the way it takes off. Oh, excuse me, Isabella. Anyways, yeah, it's been overcast all day. Dogs are gonna take off, go chase the bird that is in the middle of the lake and they think is over there. They're soaking wet. They've been soaking wet all day. I kicked them out of the cabin before I got up about 2 hours, and I came out and they're just drenched. So they spent the most part of the day outside of the cabin. It wasn't really raining today, like since I've gotten up. Very sparse, very barely, but it rained thoroughly throughout the entire night and well into the first part of the morning. So it was really wet when I woke up, and I kind of made the decision that I was gonna. It's Sunday. I thought, well, you know what? Do I want to make the fire inside? Do I want to make it outside? I decided make it inside, same amount of effort, and I'd use up some of the wood that I've been cutting up for the last couple days and just kind of enjoy and relax inside. So that's what I've been doing. And they're just sitting there on the bank, kind of disappointed that they can't go get that duck, but it's not a duck, it's a loon, and it is gone, gone, gone. So, yeah, I wanted to show you guys a few things here. This is the edge of the boat. As you can see, I'm wearing sneakers, so I'm standing precariously here. Next to me is my fridge. Yeah, and there's the lid for it. So if I kill a duck or a fish or whatever, usually what I do is unless I'm going to eat it right away, which is never usually the case. No, I guess usually is our word today. Anyways, I put it in this here bucket and I hang it up on the porch, and I'll show you where. But either way, down here, what we have are a few of my dishes I'm just soaking. So I actually just finished dinner. Since I made my fire inside, I had beans that I was kind of cooking throughout the day. And so I put some beans on. I don't know where they're going. Sam hears something probably. I put some beans on the fire today inside and just kind of got them exactly where I wanted them. Put them aside, made a pot of steamed rice, and yeah, I just had rice and beans for probably, the 456,000th time I've ever had them here. Anyways, so yeah, this is where I soak my dishes. Obviously, I clean out the quote unquote fridge every time I use it. And it's getting dark out here. You can see the lake is pretty much pristine like glass. It's been like this more or less all day. I don't have any reason to go anywhere in the boat. There's very little action in the water for fish. Speaking of fish, I haven't gone fishing every single day this week, but for the days that I have, it's been raining, and I think I got a bird the other day, and some days I just haven't been really able to be motivated to go out there. I mean, really, when we look at my fishing record right now, it's so low, it almost doesn't merit going out. But I was in the boat the other day, and I changed up my lures, and I was, just doing my regular fishing thing. I've had a few on the line that I've lost, and I think there was another small one there, but I looked down when I was reeling in, because I always like to follow my lure to see if the fish are even paying attention to it. And there's this massive fish, probably at least 18 to 20 inches and big. So, I mean, they are still here, but I haven't caught one for a really long time. I had assumed that they all went um down the exits here for the lake, because I'm pretty much at the top here, and on each side of the lake, there's this side right here, there's a creek going out, and exactly opposite to it, way down the other end, there's a creek going out too. So we're not going to spend too much time in the boat. It's my typical line. I just wanted to come down, show you what the weather was like, show you where I wash my dishes, and yeah, it works pretty good for me. I'm feeling like pretty good today, not great. I had a really frustrating week. We're going to get to that in a minute here. I'm going to go inside and probably just prop the phone up and stick a log on the fire. Kind of unfortunate that I've put the camera the way that I have, but I think I'll be able to fix it up and make it work. So, yeah, without further ado, I'll leave the boat here. And I do leave all my fishing stuff in the boat. There's a small tackle box. That little bucket there I use for bailing out the water when it rains. You see there's a bit of water in there. I'm going to have to bail that out the next time I want to go. And then I have 2 sticks here. I have one which is an oar that I've made, because the boat, when I found it, didn't have anything besides those cheap plastic oars. So I took a proper stick and I made an oar. And actually, since I made this particular oar, which was over a year ago, I've had absolutely no problem with it. It works very well. And this other stick here is what I call like a push stick. So I just use it to get in and out of the bay here. Just makes it easier for me to shift myself out. So yeah, I finished harvesting all the potatoes, and we're gonna go see that right now, because they're sitting outside the cabin while it's still got a little bit of light. And as you can see, there's some smoke rising out the top there, which is pretty cool. That's one of my favorite sights here, is when I have the cabin going and the fire's inside and there's smoke coming out, and it's just like, just makes me feel like somebody lives here, and that's me, and makes me feel like home. And well, that's a nice feeling for me. You know me, I'm Mr. Emotional, and last week we had a pretty hard video we made, but that's all said and done and out of the way. I also want to show you this. So I don't know if you remember from the very first series of the videos here, I showed you guys my plant, and it wasn't doing so good, it was dying, but I have managed to bring it back to life at least a little bit. And I guess cheat in the corner here, there are the potatoes, probably less than, well, in mass, it's going to be less than I planted, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good story about the potatoes while we look at these ruby beauties. So you can see that they're in like a sifting pan. I dug them all up and I put them in a bucket. And when I put them in the bucket, I put the sifting pan, which actually acts somewhat like a lid, on top of the bucket. So I took it down to the boat there because I was going to clean the potatoes and all the dirt off of them. And I dumped it out into the boat at first. And then I was like, wait, you're an idiot. Now there's dirt in the boat. So then I held it over the water because I was going to shake it out. And it didn't matter if the dirt went in the water. And every single potato, the lid came off and they all went right into the water. This was on a pretty cold day, pretty late at night. So I had to fish every potato out of the water with my bare freezing cold hands by the time I was done. I can't remember, I was doing something else in the water before too. I think I was washing dishes, so it was like, double time, have your water in, or have your hands in the water for like 10 minutes. So that was pretty lame. Sorry, I don't mean to delay. We're wondering, hey, are you going to leave this weekend coming up? And the answer to that is not likely, and I don't know. And I'll tell you that story in a minute, but just thought we'll just go get a couple quick shots of the girls here so we can change it up. Just thought I'd show you that I'm not the worst horticulturist in the world. There's my plant, and there's my potatoes. They're definitely suffered because of the dirt. Again, not much has changed up here. This is a stump I'm burning on right now. I just dug it up out of the ground. I've been cutting it up, using it for wood. I got my firewood pile going over there with my assorted kinds of wood. The tea area is as normal, except for most of the stuff's inside because I'm using it. And then there's the garden up there. It's all dug up, and there's a shovel laying next to it because I just did it the other day. So, yeah, this is where we are. This is it. Today was an inside day, and that's pretty much that. So, we'll go inside, and I will throw some wood on the fire, and we'll kind of maybe give you a shot of how the fireplace is. Really hope that Samantha is not on the bed right now. She's not. So, I have this, which I don't know how well is going to work for us, but it seems to be okay. My bed's made a little bit. I've been sitting in it, so it's kind of a little bit disheveled, but like I said, today I spent most of the day inside. I got the plant outside, so what we see here is basically, oh look, here we go. There's my Longman Anthology of British Literature, Volume 1. Awesome. And I'm actually more than halfway through it now. See, where am I? Oh yeah, way more. Okay, so here we go. This is what I'll be reading tonight. The noblest and best... Oh, the shadow. Screwing us. The noblest and best of ladies, the Countess of Denbigh. So anyways, yeah. There's my book. There's proof I'm reading it. Not that I need to prove anything to anybody. And then I'm going to shut the light down here. Shadow on this is really bad. Man, it's going to suck that I can't see myself when I film. But here we go. Let's see here. I think I got something outside for this. Grab this one right here. Nice and dry. So that you can kind of see how this works. Shadow, man. The shadow. It's my headlamp that's causing this shadow. So, again, it's just my tendency to stick my hands in the fire. The headlamp's really screwing us, eh? Let's see here. I'm going to have to put this down for a sec, I think. See if I can do this one-handed. I mean, of course I can, but it's not optimal. Drag that forward. Maybe I'll use this right here. And we'll just give it a blow. Not really too concerned about having it like roaring or whatever. Sure looks weird in this camera, in this light. Looks like really red. It's not that red. I mean, I guess it is, but sorry for the boringness of that part. You can see here there. This is the part that I was telling you needs to be repaired. There's a lot of ash all over my phone now. It's pretty much depleted, but this is where I keep the wood in this tote, like I've told you before. And there's not much there. I've been burning it all day, but whatever. And then, yeah, I mean, I almost feel like maybe we won't do this in here. Maybe I'll go sit outside, and at least then I won't have to worry about the light, because the light here is just not working. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of figuring out what I'm going to do here. Go outside. That's what we'll do. I was going to sit at the desk like before, but I just feel like it's going to be too dark. So we'll go to my regular sitting spot, or somewhat near it, because it's wet. I'll finish this out. It's dark, even you're dark. Huh? Yeah. Alright, so, hey, it's me. Yes, Bella. Good girl. Go away. You're wet. It's me and Bella. Sorry, the dog is like sniffing the phone, thinks it's time to play, but it's not. Hey, it's me and I'm here. Man, last week was a really hard video to make, and we'll get into that right now. I don't think I'm going to get too emotional, but basically, I had some good time to think about it. Before I get into anything, I just want to let you guys know not much has happened this week. I think I got a couple of birds when I was hunting. Like I said, I dug up the potatoes. I have been hunting more or less every day. I haven't run into too much this week. I've passed a lot, especially in the last couple of weeks. And by pass, I mean that like I've seen birds, I've seen spruce grouse, and had shots at them, but either decided they were too small, or maybe I ran into a flock of them, or whatever you want to call it, and I only took one instead of where I normally would take two. Really cut back on that. I'm not saying that there's like not as many as there were before. I think for a few weeks there, the berries were all getting really, really ripe, and there's a lot of berries along the trail. So I think that mostly they were down there because of that. But the bunchberry is coming up pretty quick here, so I don't really see why they wouldn't be still the same. I'm not saying that there's less than them, because there isn't, but I feel like maybe because my style of hunting has changed. So rather than come back with like 3 birds, which is something I used to do, I'm sitting on rocks. It's not exactly comfortable, so sorry for shifting, but yeah, I'm coming back with one now. Like, I didn't make any rules about this. I like to make rules and then stick to them. My own personal rules, whatever. But yeah, so before, if I saw a big group of birds, I would, take 2 or 3 of them, no problem if I could. But now it's more like, okay, I'm just taking one bird at a time. I think the last bird I got, there was about 3 or 4 of them all together, and I excuse me, I shot the first one, and then the next one was like literally right in front of me, and I basically turned my back to it and told it to go away while I plucked its brother, sister, or friend, or family member, whatever it was, and brought it home. And I think that was the last chicken I ate. That was about 2 days ago I ate it, because I didn't eat one yesterday. I didn't get one yesterday, and I didn't get one the day before, but I ate one the day before. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was like on Thursday or Friday I nailed the bird, and I ate it on. Yeah, I must have nailed it on Thursday and ate it on Friday. Anyways, a little bit of a digression there, long-winded, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go hunting today. Obviously, it's too dark now anyways, but like I said, it just thoroughly rained all night, so the idea of going out to the forests for me is not appealing at all. And I have been playing my games quite a bit lately. I was started off with at first when I got here, I really wasn't playing my video games very much, and over the last probably month, I have been a lot more. The sun's been really good, and I have a battery pack charger, I don't know what they call them, or I don't remember what they call them. I must have known at one point because I ordered it online from Amazon, but I have one of those like battery packs, and my solar power or my solar panels charge it up, and then I can probably get like, I don't know, 24 to 30 hours out of my video game off of one fully charged pack, which is pretty good. But anyways, yeah, I'm rambling. I know that's what I do. So what happened is basically I held out just like I said I would. I don't know if you want me to do a quick recap. Last week I was in the boat, basically in tears. torn between whether or not I want to leave this place. Telling you guys I haven't spoken with my friend since very early August, and that it was coming up to the 20th September where I was going to ask him if he was coming up here and if he was able to still grab me like he said he was going to. Uh, Living with the uncertainty of him coming and counting down the days and having that all build up for me was really emotional. It was very tough. Um, it's kind of like having a countdown to when I might be leaving. I hope I'm not covering the microphone. Having a countdown to when I might be leaving, but then not really knowing if that would be accurate or not. So, long story short, I did hold out until the Tuesday. I woke up at 2 o'clock. Or sorry, not woke up. I waited until 2 o'clock and then I texted him and I said basically, hey man, hope you had a great summer. And I'm wondering if you're still coming up on October 1st. I need to get a ride out of here because I got guns and things that I have to bring out. And I can't just leave without a guaranteed ride. And he texted me back kind of briefly. It wasn't for a couple of days before I heard back from him, which was a little bit disconcerting because I don't know, it takes about 45 seconds to respond to a text message. But either way, I do understand he has a life and a job, and I'm not his child, and, may not be his priority, but I received a message a couple days later, and it was like, hey, brother, had a wicked summer. Where are you now? And I kind of thought that was a really stupid question because it's like, where the smell do you think I am? Like, I am at the cabin, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't say anything rude. I just kind of put everything plain and simple for him, which is, yeah, I'm still at the cabin. I'm glad you had a good summer. I got a helicopter ready to go to pick me up if you're coming on the 1st. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I need to ride out from, I told him where, and that was on Thursday. It was right after he texted me back because I messaged him on Tuesday. And is there a mosquito near me? Do you not know who I am? I am famous in these woods for murdering millions of mosquitoes. Okay, so go away. Sorry, you got a little bit of a bad view there. But anyways, yeah, so I texted him on Tuesday. I woke up on Thursday and his message was there. He sent it to me very early on Thursday morning. I replied the same day, let him know where I was. And yeah, now it's Sunday and I haven't heard anything back from him. So I'm not a stupid person. I'm guessing that the fact that I haven't heard back from him is kind of, indicative of him not going to come and get me, which is fine. I'm not dying. What I really wanted to explain about last week's video and this week's video is it's not so much wanting to leave here or not wanting to leave here. It is uncertainty that is really driving me mad in my emotions, is because, like, I know pretty much everything that's going to happen here. I've explained this before, said this before, that it's the weather could change. It could be something to do with food. I mean, lots of small changes. Yeah, like here. Sorry, the dogs are making me lose my train of thought. Sam's just tearing off to the lake, and every time they tear off to the lake, I feel like, well, is there something down there that I need to pay attention to? So, beg your pardon. What I'm trying to say is that it's the uncertainty of events that is really affecting me. And yeah, like, I just personally, I mean, there's a real good chance that he will see this video if it goes online. If he picks me up, I'm going to tell him, yeah, I made videos and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to put it in his face and tell him to watch this, but, like, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off because it's not so much anything other than I never solicited him for, like, tell me when you can come, tell me the earliest date, tell me when you'll be here. That was never me. He came to me and told me that he was going to come up on October 1st, which I understand plans change. But I think that, being a man and everything like that, it's kind of important to tell me what your intentions are. And the reason for that is because, like, okay, let's say you're not coming and you're not going to come at all, right? Well, then I got a whole new way to look at things. I am currently like I said, I'm distracted right now because the dogs are down on the lake, right? Well, the lake is where the moose comes out all the time. So I have not bothered really pursuing, shooting, chasing, hunting down the moose based on the fact that my friend is supposed to be coming up here, and I'm not going to take a large animal and kill it and go through all the work of it, only to either try to have to smuggle half of it out, which is against the law. I'm not going to do that. Or, shove it all down my throat, and that's not going to happen. But you understand what I'm trying to say is, like, by not telling me what your plans or intentions are, you're basically screwing me, because if I do run into a situation where I could take the moose, um, the uncertainty of you coming or not kind of prohibits me from doing that. Whereas if you told me, sorry, bud, I'm not coming at all anymore, then I could at least make the decision right then and there. Okay, there's the moose. Here we go. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to commit to staying. Or, it's not the only person in the world that I know who might be able to come up here and grab me and the girls. The fact of the matter is, guys, is it's wintertime, and if I don't, well, it's not wintertime yet, but we're 5 days, 6 days away from October, and October will see the onset of winter. By November, there's going to be snow on the ground that isn't going to be going anywhere until next year. So, again, by not telling me what your plan is, what your intentions are, whether or not you're coming, you're basically just leaving me high and dry. And I don't really want to go call around and ask everybody from my Garmin, which I have to enter one character at a time, if they're willing to come up, 10 hours from Vancouver to pick me up. By the way, he comes up here occasionally, so it's more normal for him to come up than it would be somebody like, for instance, one of my friends who never, ever, ever comes up here because they have absolutely no reason to. Either way, I'm kind of rambling, I'm ranting. As you can tell, I'm a little bit frustrated. I'm definitely a little bit angry. I think it's very disrespectful that he hasn't messaged me back and let me know what he's doing. And, just I'm pretty good with, like, reading between the lines and everything. So him not messaging me back is probably just his way of not committing to coming up here yet, or not. It is still a full week away, more or less. More less than more. But yeah, by him not telling me what he's doing, I'm just kind of, you know, I got the helicopter prepared to go, and I'm going to have to let him know when, and I'm not going to be calling or, texting the helicopter pilot every few days and saying, "Oh, I don't know, man, a couple days, I'll let you know." Like, basically, if I call him on or call him off, it's got to be it, right? So yeah, this is where I'm at mentally. I have decided that today is Sunday. I am not going to do a single thing until Wednesday. I certainly don't intend to message him. He has clear instruction from me as to what I'm looking for, what I need, and if he's willing or not to do it. I've been kind, polite, and graceful, and up until this point, I'm, like I said, a little bit pissed off because now I don't know what's going on, whereas before I thought it was more like 60-40 that I would be leaving on October 1st, or, somewhere around that same percentage, but maybe even a little bit higher, that I'd be leaving around that date. And now I have no idea. So, my main supplies aren't running low. Like, I have beans, I have rice. My pasta's not so hot right now, and by that I mean like, I got one, two, three, four. I got about just a little I got 3.8 kilograms of pasta, which is less than 10 pounds. And it sounds like a lot, but it's about a month's worth eating it daily or semi regularly, like 5 times a week. I try to measure it out so that I don't consume more. I try to like portion it. But yeah, so I don't have much pasta left, enough for about another month, if I really am diligent with it. Rice and dog food, maybe three months left in rice, but only 2 months left in dog food. And I haven't been supplementing the dog's food with rice, but I have been giving them rice with their food. Kind of try to, well, they're always hungry, so I'm trying to give them extra food. And then I'm also trying to get them used to the fact that, hey, going forward, it might be rice and dog food. So I've told you this before. I'm sticking by it. I can definitely survive here without any fuss, any problem at all until a minimum of November 24th. If I stretch things thin and literally use things all up here and start to get creative, then I can probably last until maybe the end of December. But the fact of the matter is that it's not like easy to get in and out of here. And when you get into the months of like November, December, and January, the only way for me to get out during those months is by helicopter. So that eliminates my other method of extraction, which is by float plane. Because the float plane has to put skis on once the lake freezes, and then the lake has to be frozen enough so that it doesn't go through the ice, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, between November and January, like end of November till middle of January, so about 2 months really, the float plane can't really come here at all. And yeah, so I kind of made the executive decision, and I know I'm going on here. I don't know how long this video is. It must be getting dark. I don't know how well you can see me or not. I'm kind of sitting underneath the tarp anyways, but yeah, I made the decision that I'm not going to do anything until Wednesday. So I got a few more days just to sit back and relax. If I haven't heard anything from my buddy about coming up this weekend or any other time by Wednesday, then I could say for fairly certain he's not coming up. And I don't intend to message him anymore. I don't like to be like, I don't know how to, like a little girl about it, I guess I'll say. So I, reserve my language and all that. But yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know who cares or not, but like I said, I'm totally pissed. Like, at least have the decency to tell me that you're not coming. Like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm grown up. Like I said, I'm not your child. I'm not dependent on you. But I don't want to go inconveniencing other people and asking things from others when really you're just going to fulfill it yourself. And that's another thing too. I got to close this video out pretty quick here, but part of me really does believe that he might just come anyways. Like, I don't know. And that's another thing that's kind of pissing me off, is because it's like, if he messages me on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, let's say, and says, hey, I hope you're ready for this weekend. I'm coming up like I said I was. That's really going to piss me off, because for the last 4 days, or at that point, it'll be the last 7, 8 days, I'll have had lost all my opportunity to do anything. Like, I can't truly pack anything up here if he's not coming, because I need all of these things if I'm staying here and till who knows when. And I don't really want to have to rush to throw everything together, but not to mention, aside from that, instead of allowing me to like decompress and enjoy the last of the days that I have here, and do things the way I, would prefer to do them myself, so I could leave everything the best way I possibly can, that would in turn just rush me out of here, which would really piss me off. So I'm really not very happy with him right now. Like I said, I didn't come up with this date. He came up with it. If he's not going to stick to it, that's totally fine with me. I would have appreciated knowing. At this point, I don't believe that I'm going to hear from him, which is kind of his like his loss, right? I mean, I'm certainly not going to come out of here by somebody else and call him up and tell him like how happy I am with him or anything like that. I mean, it's not a good situation between friends, especially because like I don't think that he really realizes that like this is my actual life here, and it's not an easy life. And when I don't have anything else to do besides look forward to this or think about that or whatever, it can really can really build up on a person. So there's your extremely long update about that. I don't know whether you agree with me or disagree with me, but you're welcome to leave a comment below. It's getting so dark now, I'm not sure that you can even really see me very well anymore. I hope I've done a good job holding the camera. As far as the girls go, the girls are doing good. They haven't had any porcupine encounters or anything worth mentioning. They're well fed, they're happy, they've been out all day getting their exercise. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but yeah, see, it's so dark out. You probably couldn't even see me at all. Yeah, the smoke's rising from the cabin right now. It's just really beautiful. I'll go down here and try to get some shots of the sky before I sign her off. But yeah, this is where I come out in the middle of the night and I just actually stand right here. And this is actually me who cleared this open spot. And I just like to look out, and I look out to the stars, and you could see quite well. And there's the evening star, which is Hesperides, is right there. And yeah, it's just beautiful. When the moon is full, it gets to be right about there. And when it's coming up, it comes on over here in between the trees. This is my longest video. I didn't realize it was 37 minutes, but I finally just flipped the camera around and I can see that now. So the dogs are missing. I'm going to stoke the fire up. As you guys can tell by my voice, I'm really not too concerned with anything. Like I said last week, nobody's dying. Sorry that the video was so emotional, but it is emotional for me, not knowing what is going on. I've kind of just resigned myself to knowing that I've waited this long anyways, that, a few more days here or a couple weeks there isn't really going to make a difference. I still intend to leave. I have to, unless a magical moose walks out in the lake in the next 2 weeks after I find out that, I have no arrangements to come. Nothing can really make me stay here because I can't put my dogs through not having enough food. And, I'm actually pretty surprised how resilient I am at eating the same things over and over and over again. And like I said, my main staples, they're all, sorry, the big noise. They're all in pretty good shape, but it's my spices that are running low. Like, I have maybe like 2 or 3 more uses of soy sauce. I have like a little bit of um, this roasted red garlic and red pepper that I use all the time. And like, eating rice and beans every day is not so bad when you can season it up in different ways. But, if I have to eat it plain, I'm going to be a pretty miserable person, I think. Any more miserable than I am now? I don't know. I don't even know if I'd want to see that. But yeah, I can't believe it's so cloudy and rainy this week. And just so you know, the creek is still dried up. I was going to walk down to the creek, but it was just too late. And I went and I filled up all my water containers yesterday, which means that I go through roughly 60 liters of water, just a little less than that because I don't fill them up to the brim. But I go through about 60 liters of water every 2 weeks. So that's kind of interesting. And I can actually see the dogs now down on the peninsula, so that makes me feel better. But I really, really appreciate everybody who watches my long-winded ranting videos, and I am so not miserable like I was last week. Instead, my sadness has turned to anger. And with that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you guys have a great night, great day, wherever you are, and know that no matter what happens, things are always what you make of them, and try to be positive with that thought as we end this video. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.